Some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist. I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. From my home, cracked and broken asphalt everywhere. I could have ended up just like that broken road, with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I won't forget the lessons that I don't deserve. Because one street over there's a life I could have known would have kept me from the one I love today.
Oh, good morning. Here we go. This is 1100 WSTI. I'm here till LaVern, and this is One Street Over. What's happening One Street Over from where you live?
Barry and Rebecca Richards over the exit Realty Garden Gate 10.
I hope you like my northern gear here. I'm like all done up with the, and Kaleb Stratton, my hubby, Mark Vivio is in the house. They're in the house. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for driving me in. Thank you for joining us today. Jessica Drake's supposed to be in here. She got a little bitty baby, and she lives up on 76, and has so far it hadn't been touched when we talked. And she's like, "I'll hit you later this week." I'm like, "No problem." And she's adhering to the advisory that if you don't have to be on the road, don't get on the road. So
that makes common sense.
She's following law enforcement's guidelines, since she is law enforcement. And
following their own guidelines.
And then the rest of it, we just ignored it because, well, honestly and truthfully, this is the world of a broadcaster. Broadcasters never. That was one of the hardest things whenever I was, had little kids, is they'd get off from school and everybody'd be off and snowed in. And I still had to get and do traffic. Yep. I mean, sometimes even earlier than I'd be up, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning telling people what the roads look like. And I had a studio. I mean, I was in a studio in my house. I was in my house studio, but I was talking to law enforcement and all that, and sharing that stuff.
Then there's those of us that had to actually go in and go to work.
Yeah, whatever. We were a roofing contractor back in the day, so if it was nasty, y'all didn't get out. So, but anyway, hey guys, so just to kind of unpack the attire that I'm wearing, this coat is probably, if you're on social media and you can see this coat is probably, I don't know.
She looks like the Marlboro Man.
20 years old at least.
If you remember the Marlboro Man.
Yeah. I was freezing one time, and we were up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And let's just clarify, the UP is Michigan's better half, right?
Of course.
All right? So it's the top part of Michigan that is just south of Lake Superior, and that's where my husband's from. He's from Norway, as you'll see with this hoodie here in just a second. So I was freezing, and we were in Iron Mountain, and we walked into Shopko. And I found this coat, And it is not. I mean, it is not an expensive coat, but it has been the best coat for
Go ahead, good quality products.
Shopco was awesome. So that's the Shopco. This is the Shopco coat.
It was the Walmart of the North.
Do they still have Shopco? I gotta come out of it because I can't hardly move now. It's
like a straight jacket.
It's like a straight, but it is so nice when you're out in the snow. I'm just saying, it is wonderful.
Warm and fuzzy, just like me.
And then the hat. Okay, this is a Stormy Cromer?
Stormy Cromer.
This is an official Stormy Cromer hat. I wore this to the parade, and my students go, Miss Vivio, we saw you at the parade, but you had a funny looking hat on. Because I had the ear flaps down, because if y'all remember, it was cold and drizzly for the Christmas parade.
Show them.
I'm not. I don't know if I can tie it back up with my headphones.
That's true.
I got my headphones on. You can see it. These little ear flaps come down. The little ear flaps come down, and it's the whole look. But this is a Stormy Cromer hat, and tell us a little bit about. I don't know if you really know the history, but.
Well, I mean, I know that kind of because it was basically the guys up working in the woods, and they needed a good hat.
Yeah.
And at that time you couldn't find a good hat,
right.
So the guy's wife designed this thing.
Yeah.
And they just started taking off. They start, it's like, hey, I like your hat. Can your wife make me one? Type deal. And then it just kind of went from there.
Yeah.
But they're made over towards Iron River, which is like the west side of the UP. And I was just trying. It's a little town over there that they're actually built in, and they are internationally renowned for knowing their hats.
Okay.
And they are definitely a warm hat to wear in the winter.
Oh, they are fabulous. And hi, Kaleb. We're just kind of unpacking all the winter gear, and then we'll get to all the wildlife resource stuff.
Good.
Because since Jessica's not here, he's here for the hour, so we're just gonna talk. But and then now the final piece of this is the Norway Knights. This is where he's from, Norway High School. It's where he, I brag on his all athletic stuff. I'm not going to do that and embarrass him while he's in here, but he's a really good athlete. But Norway Knights. This is his high school. So I thought, I'm just gonna northern it up since we're out here in the ice and the snow.
Ironwood, that's where they're made. Ironwood, not Iron River.
Okay.
Well, same kind of concept.
Norway, the Norway Knights is the high school theme, but his town theme is the Vikings. So that's why I have a big.
Well, because it's Norway Vulcan, is what it is.
Vulcan is another town.
Another town, but they, that's the school district is Norway Vulcan. Vulcan is where the middle school is, kind of like Coopertown is to Springfield.
Okay.
So you got Norway Vulcan, and the Vulcan were the Knights, kind of like Coopertown is the Eagles. Vulcan were the Knights at the time.
Vulcan they're the Vikings.
Yeah, they're the Vikings.
Okay, so that's why you see Vikings in our houses, because his town mascot is the Viking, but his high school mascot were the Knights. So anyway, that's why I'm in my northern gear, and
then she's got a T-shirt on and a turtleneck on.
This is a cotton cashmere sweater I have on under this that I got for a steal
from Dillard's.
Well, no, I got this. No, I got this from Land's End. When I was Christmas shopping for somebody else, I'm like, ooh, I'll take one of those. And it's warmer. And Lacey Bew wants you to know you're a snow speeder. We did a live video coming in just so you could see the roads. Oh. And she goes, I felt like I was on a roller coaster.
That's the only one on the road.
You were driving a little fast. But anyway, welcome to it. Good morning. Welcome to your snow day, maybe snow week. Yeah. I have one more personal item that I need to unpack, and then we'll let you go for it. So, I have a student, Jackson. I'll call you out. So I'll just I won't give family name. He shows up in my class a few days ago, and we were talking about the snow coming in. He goes, "Man, we got to find homes for these Great Dane puppies." I'm like, "What Great Dane puppies?" Their family has a European Dane male and a female, an American Dane female. So they just wanted pets. Well, they didn't quite get her fixed quick enough, and they're having puppies. So they had, I think, she wanted to tell me they had 12.
They had like 12, yeah.
And maybe 9 survived, because a lot of times, beautiful dogs. So they're selling these dogs for $200 a piece. That's incredible for really nice Great Danes, guys. They may have a few more. And I want to help this family out because they really need to find homes for these. But you need to pay them a little something for them because they're high quality dogs. And if you're interested, when we were in there, we bought a Great Dane. We bought. I normally don't buy dogs, but because we normally rescue giants. Well, we've been wanting a Great Dane, and so I was like, man, $200 for a Great Dane, that's a really good deal, and I'm really helping the family out because they're like, we need to find homes for these dogs. And
that was the main thing.
If he were not such a giant, I would have brought him in to show you, but he's massive, and he's only 16 weeks old. Paws on this kid. Now, in some of the other male that we looked at favored more the female, and she's only about 120, 130 pounds. The male dad is close to 200.
The dad's a European Great Dane.
You weren't listening. I already said that.
Did you?
I did.
I guess I don't pay attention
You were showing him pictures of our dog.
I don't pay attention.
Looks like he's eating out of a 20-gallon trash can.
Well, that's our dog feeder.
That's our dog feeder. We feed our big dogs. We feed on demand. We let them just eat. And everybody's like, oh, you shouldn't do that.
25 pounds of dog food fit in that. So.
We have raised a lot of giant breed dogs, and they usually live in excess of 10, 12 years. Yeah. And that's unusual for that size dog. And so ours seem to live pretty well. But we don't feed. We get our feed up at the Doors Feed Mill, y'all. All you people spending all that money on dog food, go to the Doors Feed Mill.
There you
They've
go.
got high quality farm animal food. You get dog food for your. I mean, trust me, it's good stuff. Our dogs just thrive on it. But that's where we get our dog food.
We bought some of the high end stuff because I couldn't get there, and they didn't like it as well.
They were used to the other. They were used to just more than normal average stuff. But
well, I'm sure you know unless you taste it, how do you know the difference?
Well, nonetheless,
it might be better.
If you are interested in a really great deal on, they had when we were in there. When did we get our dog? Saturday. We picked him up Saturday night. And Saturday night. They still had 3 females and 1 male. And really nice dogs, guys. If you're interested, message me and I will.
Here in Springfield.
Yeah, here in Springfield. But he's one of my students, and I've got 2 dogs. I wasn't planning on having another one, but man, I just couldn't pass this up. He's a really nice dog. So Zeke has joined the family. Zeke the second. Now, our original Zeke was
sounds like a big dog name.
Yeah, well, see what happened with the horse. They had his family raises Belgian horses. His brother still does. His grandfather, Grandpa Roy, right, had Zeke, and this from a
foal.
Yeah,
I mean, she was born on the farm.
And this big, she was a female Zeke.
Yeah,
really, I didn't know that.
Oh
That's not a girl name. You never told me that. Well, I've seen pictures of Zeke because his dad would use her to move logs. Yeah, and so I mean, these are workhorses,
right?
So
she weighed 2,200 pounds. She was probably the biggest Belgian I had ever seen.
Wow. Big old Belgian horse. So Zeke was always kind of a special name to him. So we had a St. Bernard probably 15 years ago we named Zeke. And so it's been long enough that it was time for another Zeke. So he was Zeke Jr. This is Zeke the second. And
she was actually the last horse I ever rode.
Okay.
That was the only horse I felt comfortable riding. I always felt sorry for horses when I rode them.
I'm the same way. I was like, I feel bad for them.
My feet are dragging the ground, and the back is swaying. Please get off of me. You know, where Zeke was 2,200 pounds, and I figured she could carry me.
That's funny. Well, here we go, guys. This is one street over. This is 1100 WSGI. The roads. Don't get on them.
Go shovel your sidewalk. Yeah. Shovel your neighbor's sidewalk.
That's something we don't do down here. We don't think about it. You need to shovel that snow because if you don't,
it freezes and it packs and do your neighbors. There's this wonderful full body exercise. You get your core exercise. You know, it's the new wave of this futuristic exercise. Go out and get full body, full core exercise.
If you're healthy enough to do that. If you're not, let somebody do it for you. Your grandfather was shoveling snow, one of them when he passed, I think.
Yes. Yeah. It is a good core exercise.
It is a pretty aggressive thing you're doing. So what are you going to do today? Hi.
Go back home.
Hopefully you don't have to respond to anything.
So what happens on a snow day like this? Do you hear from a lot of people or no?
People won't normally call us. We are on standby through TEMA right now. We get called out a lot. We've been, luckily I don't think this is going to be very bad at all since there wasn't any, rain before. So, but we've been called out like when the interstates get shut down and people get stranded. I mean, we'll go out take our trucks and 4-wheelers out there to try to help people, get them food, water, or whatever. We've had to do that before.
We've been there.
So right now, luckily, I don't think it's terrible out there.
Because we don't have any ice underneath it.
Yeah,
snowpack.
That was great.
And so that will help us. Now, what's going to happen though is you're going to have snowpack, and they're going to scrape it off as best they can.
Oh, it's already happening.
And it's going to refreeze. And it's refreezing because it's that temperature.
Right.
So it's refreezing constantly. So I honestly don't think we'll be in school all week. I don't think there's any way they can get the back roads clear enough to make them safe.
Make sure you wear your sleeping pajamas inside out. Put a spoon under your bed. Something about a crayon. I mean, there's these teachers came up to me the other day, and it's like, you got to do this, and it's gonna then snow. I said, what are you, a Wiccan?
I didn't think it was gonna do anything last night. It just kept coming. It wouldn't come, and then I saw the one of the radars, and it was snowing all around us except for Springfield.
Yeah.
There was just a circle over Springfield where it wasn't snowing at all.
Well, I saw pictures from Jedediah this morning. They got more snow in LaVern than we got here.
Really?
Yeah, they're calling for a lot more south of us.
Well, see, we were in Mount Juliet when it started because we went over to the kids because our son that has the 3 grandbabies. We have one in Jackson, and he's harder to get to, but it's wherever the grandbabies.
Why did we go there?
To watch the Packers beat Dallas very, very handedly.
That wasn't a beating. That was a stomping.
Well, but now Dallas kind of came back there at the end a little bit.
Yeah, but I think.
Well, I just did. They put their second teamers. Packers put their second team in exactly.
Yeah.
Make it look good for the futuristic statistics.
Well, and I told this several times, but I don't think I've told this on the radio. When I was at the Blaze, when I was working down in Dallas, because I went back and forth and worked down at the Blaze Network, doing live commercials. I was down there for almost 2 years. So we had the same kind of situation where Dallas was playing the Packers, and it was kind of like the wild card game. Who's going to go, on to the playoffs and all that kind of thing. So it was a big game, and so it was like all the talk going into the weekend. Oh, Dallas, and I'm like Green Bay, and they just ignored me, right? Because they all knew we were Packer fans, and he's from Packer country, and the family still has 4 tickets at Lambeau Field. I mean, come on,
we're royalty. We're cheesehead royalty.
So anyway. So that weekend, the game happens, and Packers win. And I'm just thinking, and I'm bored because it was a weekend that I stayed in town, and I mean, I'm bored. I'm out of town working, and so I go to Walmart and I go and get some of that little craft clay, and I got yellow craft clay, and just cut up. And I mean, it was super fast to do, but I cut it up into made it look like little cheese wedges, and I think I did 20 or 30 of them. And I did even the little dents in it to make it look like a swish, like a cheese. Baked them so they're hard. I've still got a couple of them, and I put them everywhere in the studio. I mean, all over the Blaze studio was covered with little cheese wedges. It was hysterical. They even gave me. He even talked about it. Glenn, if he talks about something on his radio show, you got him good. He talked about it. Pat talked about it. It was like, who did this? And of course, they all knew who did it because I was the
only Packer fan in the facility.
But it was hysterical. Best gag I ever pulled ever. I'll guarantee you, Pat still got one of those. I'll guarantee you he kept one.
She had kind of a limited life.
Yeah, up there.
Some of the things I've done, I'm just grateful they didn't have cell phones.
But it was funny. But, hey, be careful, guys. Odds are we might be, we'll be out of school, we know, for a few days. So, get some stuff done. Have some fun. Have some snow cream. Do y'all eat snow cream? No. I've tried it a couple of times. I've never made it work. So if you've got the great recipe for snow cream, share it with me because I've never.
There is no such thing. You don't use milk. It's just like making sherbet.
You add milk to it. My understanding is you get good fresh loose snow, and then you add
milk and sugar,
or cream and sugar, and you make a snow.
Well, why wouldn't it just be ice cream then? You'd use the snow to pack the ice maker instead of using
snow cream. Well, even Purity makes a snow cream variety.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll stick with that.
Yeah, there you go.
Have you ever had that?
No.
Then there's no bird droppings in it.
I'm scared. Whatever comes out of the sky nowadays.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're funny. You're funny. Kaleb Stratton, my husband Mark Vivio is with me this morning. Good morning. This is 1100 WSGI. Jessica Drake gives her regards. She's got a little bitty baby. He's
3?
No. He's like 18 months old. He's the same age as Miller.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like 18, 19 months old. So she's not going to drag him out in this. And so, yes, absolutely, Jess. We'll talk to you. I think we have some openings tomorrow and Wednesday. So we'll see if we can
we'll probably have a few people dropping off.
We'll
I can't drive this stuff.
They are supposed to have this lecture from, and let me see if I can find this gentleman's name real quick, at the Historical Society today for what is his name? Help me out if
I've been seeing it on there.
the guy that does all the caves.
Yeah.
Is it Joe?
I don't know.
Gordon?
That'd be a
It's
good
something
place to go
Gordon.
today.
Last
Go
name is
splunking.
Gordon,
I wonder if
think.
are they still doing it?
I doubt it.
I hope
doubt
so.
it.
There we can go.
Well, but here's the thing. I reached out to him. He is a school teacher. I'm wanting to say at Westside. And so I'm trying to get him in here on the radio show, but he has some morning school commitments. So I'm going to reach back out to him today and see if I can't get him on the show this week, because they were talking about him doing this lecture about the caves that you don't know about here in the county at the museum, at the History Museum. I'll give Danny and Janet a call and see if they can help me out and find out a little bit more about that. But they were saying that
Joe Gordon,
that's it. And we will see if I can't get in touch with him and get some info on him. Maybe we can get him in during this week, because I'm assuming they'll postpone that lecture today and reschedule it. So that'll be good. We can talk about it and build it up.
Oh, this says it's January 25th.
Well, they've rescheduled it because it was supposed to be today. Yes, truly, it was supposed to be today, because when I was looking at trying to see
yeah. 2 days. They changed it 2 days ago.
yeah, okay. Well, very good. Well, then we'll see if we
They saw it coming.
Well, that's what they said on there. I'm scrolling down. Due to the
Yeah.
weather forecast next week, we're moving it to.
Okay, that sounds good.
So it's going to be January 25th at 7 p.m. now at the Innovation Academy.
Okay. And so we'll reach out to Joe and see if we can't get him in here, because I would love to hear about that. I wish I had a cave on my property.
Well, so yeah,
I want a
a
cave.
property that I grew up on, it's got 2 caves on it. Yeah, nobody knows about them.
Really?
You know, in this one cave, it actually goes under the highway towards the rock quarry. And my
I wish
cousin
I
used to
had
go in there all the time, and like you'd be in there, and when they're blasting, he's like, it's scary.
jeez.
Yeah, it's scary under there. They're
I think
they get to
that'd be
blasting and gets to shaking in
dangerous.
there and
I think
everything.
It'll be dangerous because it
But,
could collapse. That was kind of.
And then,
kind of.
but his caves, I was scared to death to go in them when I was younger. But
Oh, I love
because you
caves.
have to like these, I mean, they have big openings, but you have to like swim underwater. And you have to stay underwater for a few seconds to get into the cave,
That's
you
a
know?
little dangerous.
Yeah.
That's a little.
But I was like, who decided to figure that out one day, you know?
Let's go swimming in this water that we don't know where it goes to.
Swim, you know, I mean, it's
you
just,
could-
it's
you could
solid
die,
water.
guys. That's
Swim
scary.
and get through the tunnel. And then once you get in there, though, it opens way up. and-
No, I wouldn't do that.
But,
No, don't do that. But be careful. I just wish there was a cave. There's a cave near us, over by the airport, that was on whose property? What was the gentleman's name that came out and pulled the bridge?
Mr.
out?
Frost.
Mr. Frost. I went blank. Mr. Frost. It was on
Saved
his-
my
I
life.
think it was on Mr. Frost's property, and we went in and did some. I don't know, did some creative pictures and things with my son Elijah. He was real creative with pictures. He's the one that does that long exposure, and he'll do where you do the light and all of that. I've got some really cool pictures that he's done. He did one up in a cave, and then he did one down before they took down that old water building that was on by the fairgrounds, you know, where they put the big collection tank now. There was a cool old building there, right there off of the creek.
So they
Do you know what
trespassed.
I'm talking about? Well, no, we didn't.
Trespassed on city property.
didn't.
Oh yeah.
No, we didn't.
Said
We
no
were-
trespassing.
We were like on the Greenway, because there was a place from the Greenway you could get a really good shot of that old building, and he did a like a long exposure shot there, and it was cool. It was really cool.
Took
But that
an
and
old
he had-
whisk and some.
He asked Mr. Frost if we could go to the cave.
Oh yeah.
He did. I'm sure he did.
I'm sure he
I'm
did.
sure did.
Mom, I asked
We'll stay
him.
with that.
I have his permission.
Well, I was with him. I was with him. I wish we had a cave. I think it'd be cool. But I'd love to hear more about the cave. So we'll see if we can't reach
There
out
you
to
go.
Mr. Gordon and get more info on that. Yeah, hey, Mark, tell Kaleb how many deer you harvested this year.
My hands weren't working. I wasn't allowed to.
He's had carpal tunnel surgery, so he's got all these cuts on his. I mean, he's had surgery in the last couple of weeks. So, and he truly he's not been a very good shot for the last few months because of his carpal tunnel was pretty bad.
And why do I have carpal tunnel?
oh no.
Probably all that snow shoveling.
No. Somebody wanted our barns painted.
Oh, yeah, she talked about that.
Yeah.
He's had a little bit of it, but
Yes.
after he painted the barns, it really set it off to where
Flared
his
it.
hands just got to where they wouldn't work. It was really bad. So he had
I think
surgery.
mine would have too.
Yes.
Sorry, no more painting.
Yeah,
Yes.
he had his surgery just a couple of weeks ago, so he's healing up. But yeah, we didn't harvest any deer.
I saw 5
yesterday. How many did
yesterday,
you
though.
harvest?
I think I ended up with 7 the past couple weeks actually.
What did you do with it? Are y'all going to keep all the meat? and
No,
stuff?
I didn't keep a single one of them. Just people always ask for them.
I had, and you didn't. Bring
Well, I
me
know
one.
I didn't kill enough. I needed to kill more.
He didn't bring me one.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I really want to start using more venison, and I'm checking.
We had some yesterday.
Yeah, we did. My son, his bride's family. That's the dad that I told you that passed away just during COVID, but he didn't die of COVID. But he was an avid hunter. He's the reason why my daughter-in-law's mom, Mimi, gets the kids all the lifetime licenses in honor of Papa, and because he was an avid hunter. That's all they ate was deer meat, and he hunted all the time. And so one of his hunting buddies brought them some venison the other day. And so we had something that they had made up, what do you call it? Egg roll in a bowl. You know, it's like you take the ingredients of an egg roll, but you don't have the covering, and it's, but it was really good. But the venison was delicious. It was so lean. It was excellent. It was excellent. I would almost love to get a deer and just grind it all up and use it for ground
See,
beef.
now I grew up with
Ground
venison
beef.
that was
Ground
unedible.
meat.
Because you figure the venison where I grew up right now, you figure the snow, so they ate a lot of cedar toppings. So the venison where I grew up doesn't taste like the venison down here. So now when I eat venison, I still taste what I ate when I was a kid.
Yeah,
It's
that
just,
makes sense.
it's kind of like the cilantro thing. Some people can eat cilantro. Some people think it tastes like soap.
Yeah.
When I eat venison, I have that same kind of reaction.
So
because
did you yesterday when you ate that? I thought that was delicious.
that's why I had to kill it with all those.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So that's why you're not big into harvesting deer. So much cheaper, hun.
Not really. I mean, you
Well, by the
figure,
time you take processing
by the
and all
time you
that.
pay for your license, you pay for your bullets, you pay for your practice, you pay for the weapon, you pay for
You
the clothing, you pay for the
You don't have to have a
pay for the
license
gas to go
You
someplace.
can hunt on our property without a license.
I know. I thought about it yesterday when I saw the 5 going across our front yard. I thought nobody know.
I was gonna say, well, let's throw that out there. Like it's
Hunting season is over.
it's completely over now. The juvenile hunt ended yesterday.
Okay, so there you go. So we could have taken our grandson and he could have gotten one.
I told you.
Okay. Well, yeah, he was telling me things. I didn't think he knew what he was talking about. But anyway, we are here talking about all things that we want to talk about. Welcome to the first of our snow days, 2024. I was talking to the students too. My husband and I are teachers, if you don't know. Kaleb Stratton is our Wildlife Resource Regional
District sergeant.
District Sergeant. See, I always get it wrong. I was trying to write it down. Y'all have so many titles. District Sergeant. He is the District Sergeant. And who is our Wildlife Resource Officer?
Jason Shapton.
And he was in last
Came in
time.
here last
wasn't he?
month,
He was
yeah.
in here last month. And nice guy. And so he's the one that you actually will get first call. That's the first person that's going to respond. But
Maybe it just depends.
well, and it depends on the weather and all that kind of stuff, I suppose.
People still call me, and that's 100% fine. I mean,
Yeah.
and if it's something little, I'll try to go out. I mean, there's no sense in
Sure.
he's not out, and
Yeah.
but yeah, I try to handle a lot of stuff for him if I can. A lot of little piddly calls and stuff, and
So you wouldn't have had to have gotten out this morning if it hadn't been for the radio show.
oh, absolutely.
Oh, thank you, Kaleb. Thank you.
Last night after the game, I was like, man, I got to get up in the morning. I
Yeah.
gotta go to bed.
Yeah. That's just it.
It's all
So-
good. I enjoy it.
Well, we'd enjoy having you. So what's coming up as far as wildlife resource stuff? What have you got going on as far as, there's nothing really, do we have any more of the fish release, any more of the trout, or has that already been
Yeah,
done?
I'll look that up here in just a second. I
Okay.
didn't do that yet.
Okay, I'll do a
As
break
far
and
as
you can-
deer season goes, though, we were for the county. Everybody wants to know.
Oh yeah.
We were about, we killed around 2,000. We kill around 2,000 deer each year.
Okay.
In
You're
Robertson,
the county.
in Robertson County.
Okay.
We were down probably 100 or so, I think. What did I just
Okay.
see here? Statewide, we were down a lot.
Really?
Statewide, we were down. So last year, we killed 2,000. I'm sorry. Last year, we killed 2,209 deer. And then this year, we killed 2,000 deer. So we were about 200 deer down
in the county.
and about 10,000. Or actually, 10,001 down in the state.
That's
So
crazy.
we killed statewide. We killed 150,000 this year. Last year we killed 160,000.
So what are people supposed to do? Just call and say I got a deer? I mean, where I grew up, you had to actually take them down to to the DNR, the Department of Natural Resources, and they would inspect it to make sure it didn't have any diseases. They would do some searching. They did a little testing on it.
We do that on opening days now. So we do that opening day of muzzleloader and rifle. But we don't have the CWD bad enough yet for us to test every deer.
Okay.
But yeah, now it's just all on your phone. So we have an app just right there. I mean, you get on your app and you check your deer in. I mean, you don't have to go anywhere. We don't even have any check stations anymore. Nobody wanted to do it. It's a dying breed, and it's really sad.
Well, and that's something that you and I talked about is how that so many kids are not hunting anymore. And we're going to get to a time, guys, you think you talk about car accidents from these deer running across. If we don't harvest them and keep control of the deer population, it's going to get really bad. Yeah. And we really need, I mean, it's already
horrible.
I love looking at the deer. I love looking at them. But boy, when I grow a garden and they tear it up and where were we? We were going somewhere the other day. And we were going to your ball game because he was coaching. They had that little tournament that the middle school did over at East Robertson. And so we were driving to that, and I was in my little Camry, and 3 of them just, if you hadn't seen them, my night vision's not great.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and where you come in the Cross Plains there by the Baptist Church.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And I mean, if he hadn't said, hey, if he hadn't, cautioned me, I don't know that I would have seen him. And
we get a lot hit right in there, actually,
in there. And I'll be honest with you. My little Camry and a deer, it would not have fared well for me or the deer.
Not at all.
And some of the worst car accidents I've ever seen are cars and deers. Now, trucks usually do a little bit better, but these little cars and stuff, hit a deer, guys.
I saw somebody hit one there in Goodlettsville by the Goodlettsville Church of Christ, by the school.
Yeah.
Somebody hit one there by Dairy Queen the other day.
Oh, wow.
But
seriously, guys, we need to be teaching our kids about hunting. We need to be passing this on because it is becoming a lost art, and it is a way to get your. And if you learn if you can field dress and do it yourself, and learn to take and process the meat yourself, which you absolutely can do, you can save all the processing fees. You can really save yourself a lot of money. Invest in a freezer. Learn to hunt. And I'm talking to myself, man. I need to. I've never been a hunter. I grew up on a livestock farm. We had, dairy and cattle when I was little. Then we had hogs, and we never wanted for meat. But for those that, it's expensive. I don't know. I think we all need to be hunting more. I don't know why we don't do it. It's just it's a resource we need to be tapping
into. And when the apocalypse happens, you need
to stop. But anyway, this is 1100 WSGI. We need to hear about the trout. You go ahead and look that up while I take and do a break. Let's talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. Be a great day to give them a call and just talk to them. Probably not out and about, doing all the things. I love telling you about, connecting Barry and Rebecca with my friend Jeffrey Jocelyn that was in just last week, because he's a filmmaker and he's a musician. And so he's looking for a very specific piece of property. And as soon as he started talking, I said, you've got to reach out to Barry Richards because he understands what you're talking about. That's one of the hardest things when you're looking for a piece of real estate and you're like, well, this is what I need it for. And I need it for this, this, and this. And everybody's like, oh, I got the perfect place. And they don't have a clue what you're talking about. Well, Barry, because he's got that background in media marketing, he was media marketing vice president for 17 plus years in Nashville. I told Jeffrey, I said, he's your guy, because as soon as you start talking, he's going to go, I know exactly what you're looking for, and I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to send you to properties that will work for what your needs are. And that's what I love about Barry and Rebecca, because they have a diverse background. So they understand what you're talking about from all different kinds of things. And Rebecca was in radiology, of all things, many years ago. I think she's been at real estate 17, 18 years now. But they both came out of different careers and made real estate their career. And so they bring that diversity to what you need when it comes to trying to get the perfect piece of real estate for your needs. Or if it's trying to sell something, if you're trying to get something on the market and you need to know exactly how to do it. Barry's going to bring that expertise of all the videography and the photography, the drone footage, walkthrough tours. They can do it all. They sell historical properties, historical businesses. She is a agent up in White House. He is the broker here in Springfield, right on the square. long time, one of our original sponsors, still with us here at One Street Over, and we appreciate it. And you can call Becky at 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. You can also just Google them. Barry Richards, Exit Realty Garden Gate Team. Rebecca Richards, Exit Realty Garden Gate Team. And that's a real easy way to find them. Sellwithbecky.com, buy, BUYRobertsonCounty.com. They're cross-Planians. They specialize in Robertson County properties, but also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky. Contact them today. Always let them know that U-Turn sent you. And as we continue on, challenge Kaleb to bring up some information for us. They have the this that they do here in Robertson County. And it's quite popular. We're using, I mean, this is like right?
So we'll have January 24th and then February 22nd. So
Okay, so that's next Wednesday.
yeah, next week.
Did they
Next
just
Wednesday.
put some trout in the little lake out there at the park?
At Travis Price.
So yeah, so we're only giving a limited amount, and it's like pulling teeth trying to get more trout. But yeah, they did put I think 80 into Travis Price the previous time. That was a delayed post. That actually happened a while back. But we're also trying to get some. I've had a few requests to put some in up below Greenbrier.
Okay.
But below Greenbrier Lake and that waterway there. So
Okay.
if
Would
we
it be
can
cold
get
enough?
some more. Right now it is.
Mark, you're
Okay.
not on the microphone, dude.
Why not?
Right now it is.
Hello.
Stay on the microphone. You've been around this your entire life practically. As long as you've been with me, you know how this works. You have to talk into a microphone.
Yeah, but people don't want to hear me.
Well, but if you're going to comment, stay on the microphone.
Well, sometimes I might
let's
like
let him
comment.
talk. Okay, we've been running our mouth. Go.
No,
Go,
that,
Kaleb.
that was it. That's like I said, we're trying to get some more. You know, every time we can try to get some, we will. But but no, it's extremely popular. I mean, you see people lined up down there waiting for these trout to come in. If the trout were coming today, they're not. But people would be lined up down there right now waiting.
Even in the
Yeah.
cold.
Right now, they would be lined up.
That's one of the things.
Now,
with-
where do they raise those?
Different places. We have a few cold water hatcheries.
Oh, really?
The one in Springfield is a warm water, so there's nothing here. He's looking at me, talking to me, you know.
Come on.
But yeah, a lot of them come from the Flintville hatchery,
Where's that at?
Flintville, Tennessee.
I don't know where Flint's.
I don't know what county. I don't know what county it is. Let me see what county that is.
What's it by? What big
Give
city
him a
is it
landmark or something.
by? Give me a restaurant. That's usually what I go by. Hey,
Oh yeah,
tell me what restaurant.
What
it's
do they?
by.
What do they have to eat there?
Exactly.
So,
they
but,
have fresh fish.
But well, you know, and I'm not big on fish, but you know, our grandson, our oldest grandson, that's fun. Well, we got 4 grandkids now,
You're
dude.
getting old.
Good land, man, that's crazy. But our
it's
oldest,
between Pulaski and Chattanooga,
Okay.
So they have a
so
cold water
straight
in the
south of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
our oldest grandson loves to fish. I mean, he can stand there all day, and we have a few times on Cars Creek, and we still are not very good. Now he caught a really pretty bass down where Cars Creek and Sulphur Fork meet, and
Smallmouth?
yeah. I
Yeah,
guess.
there's some beautiful smallmouth down there.
He got a
Huge
beautiful
smallmouth
fish
right
in
there.
Yeah, and that was a lot of fun. But and he was so excited. He was shaking. He was so excited. But that was a great time. So I love
snow out
just
there.
hanging out. Huh?
Look at it snow out there.
Is it still snowing?
Is it still
snowing
snowing?
hard now?
Good land, y'all. It's still coming down. Man, we're gonna be snowed in for months. No, us
At least through the week.
yeah, it looks like we're gonna have a week at home, y'all.
It could be a lot worse. I've been looking at the just following the football and watching the Buffalo stuff up there in Buffalo, and it's crazy.
Yeah, they get crazy amounts of snow up.
I mean, I've got some friends from Buffalo. They're huge Buffalo fans, and I was at their house yesterday watching the game, and he's from Buffalo, and he was talking about how he's like, I can't believe y'all are out of school for this. You know, I was like, well, it's a different day. You know, you're old now. No.
Well, and it's, I guess, lake effect snow, a lot of
Yeah,
it
because that's
in
east
Buffalo.
of all
yeah.
the Great Lakes.
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
Well, and people don't realize what lake effect snow is like and what the lakes, the great, we were passing.
Those are oceans to those people.
Yeah.
Well, and
You know, they're
it's-
not backed up rivers like you have here in this
we
part
had
of
this,
the country.
We had this conversation yesterday because
We
we
have
were driving over to
lakes.
Mount Juliet and I guess we were passing Old Hickory.
Percy Priest, probably.
I don't know. We were.
Or either one.
I
It
don't
depends
know.
on which way you went.
South.
I think well, no, we were going to the ball game and we were over by Old Hickory. So I think we were at Old Hickory Lake. But anyway, and I said something about, isn't it pretty? And he goes, it's a backed up creek.
Yeah, it is. That's exactly what it is.
And because I mean, he's
Put a dam in, and they
Exactly.
if you have never taken a trip to the Great Lakes, oh my goodness, go. Well,
just Lake
It is
Antoine.
spectacular.
Lake Antoine there in
Beautiful.
Iron Mountain. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a lake. I mean, it's round, it's oval.
Yeah.
You got houses all
It is
around.
absolutely
It's just
beautiful. If you've never been to the
beautiful
Great
lake.
Lakes region, Lake Superior, wow.
I grew up on Lake Elwood. You know,
Oh, it's just beautiful, and it looks like the ocean, but it's clear water. It's fresh water. It's not salt water, and you can see to the bottom. We were up at
and no sharks.
yeah, no sharks. It's cold. It's cold. We were up on Lake Superior and went to is it Painted Rocks, and we went out on a boat. Oh, so beautiful. It was just one of the most. It's just gorgeous, guys. I can't say enough about checking out the UP. It
Great
is
place to visit. It's
absolutely-
too cold to live there.
Well, but we went up into Canada for a ski trip one time, and we had one of those conversion vans. It was like all the kids; they were just teenagers, and we were coming back, and we drove along the lake. We came through.
Lake Erie.
Yeah, we came through we went and saw the Niagara Falls, and then we drove right along the lake in that van. I felt like a kite. Because that lake, I mean, it was the wind and all of that.
70, 80 mile an hour winds.
Incredible.
Yeah,
really,
off.
that's a lot. That's
It was
pretty windy, dude.
It was real windy that day.
I don't know if it was that windy. But
Enough to run you out of gas in downtown Cincinnati.
that was going there. That's another story another time. That has nothing to do with that first story. Kaleb Stratton's in the house. What else do we need to talk about? From our district sergeant, I've got to write that down. District Sergeant, Wildlife Resource.
I was texting my buddies. I said, we're all going to starve to death. All the restaurants are closed today now.
Oh, no.
The depot's closed now. Willie Mays and Larry's is closed on Mondays anyway. I was like, people are not going to know what to do now.
Well, you go to Walmart and get a sandwich.
Yeah.
Get you a sandwich. Get you a sandwich out of the deli. Pretty good ones.
Yeah, so I normally tell people right now is our slow time, but it's really not. I say slow time. We try to let our guys, take some time off between now and turkey season, which will be like the first week of April.
Right.
But there's so much that goes on conferences wise. We have the NWTF coming into town in a couple weeks, so we work that for we work security for that. We have a booth there. This year we're going to have a really cool booth down there, huge booth on the law enforcement side that my lieutenant's putting together. So.
And tell them what that is.
NWTF. It's National Wild Turkey Federation.
Okay.
They, they're a private organization that raises tons of money for turkey habitat and turkey projects.
So
Lots of studies. I mean, they've helped fund a lot of our studies that we do for turkeys. And
is this something that's open to the public?
oh yeah, there are hundreds of thousands of people that'll come down to Opryland this week. It's crazy.
Okay. And
Crazy
it starts
how big it
when?
is.
You have the start date on
Yeah,
that?
I do.
If somebody wants to go, because I know that's something, I wonder if, because we have talked about whether or not you know Jimmy Sites.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know Jimmy?
Yeah, Jimmy will be there. I'm sure. All your TV people are there. All the major hunting people are there.
Right.
But it'll be the week of February 12th.
Okay.
So it'll be like the 14th of probably Valentine's Day through the 17th.
Okay.
Great way that'd be a good place for us to spend Valentine's Day.
So hey, a lot of people use it for that, especially the banquet night, because it's a beautiful banquet. They always have good talent there, good
Really?
country music, a big name, and but I'm telling, they bring in millions and millions of dollars to Nashville for that.
Well, and I've mentioned Jimmy Sites. I want to kind of plug something here. They're starting a new show. It's a kids hunting show.
Oh, really?
And they're going to be doing a lot with special needs kids. I mean,
cool.
it looks fabulous, Jimmy. I just love it. Jimmy's a dear friend of ours. And if you haven't checked out Spiritual
Yeah, I saw
Outdoor
that.
Adventures,
Lee Marie.
Lee Marie's got a question too. But Spiritual Outdoor Adventures, great program, great friends of ours. He actually performed the wedding of my son Jedediah and Christina. And
He was at my birthday party.
yes, he was at
That's
your
the important
birthday
thing.
party, your big surprise party. And but great guy. But they've got a new show coming on. It's a kid hunting that's going to be awesome. But that'll be fun. I'll have to talk to him about that. But so Lee Marie has a question about kids hunting classes.
Yeah.
And I saw it earlier. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I was getting there.
She texted him.
Yeah, she want to make sure.
She may have texted me. I
Thank
didn't look
you,
at
Lee
my
Marie.
phone.
Thank you, Lee Marie.
I never have my work phone with me, and she always texts that one.
But Lee Marie, y'all know who she
That's
is.
not good.
Yeah. Well,
I never carry my work phone.
I get my phone calls transferred to this phone, but my text messages go to that phone. It stays in the truck half the time.
But so what is the answer to Lee Marie's question about kids hunting classes? What's
that's
the
up to the
situation?
What was she talking about? Did she say schools or?
Yeah.
Yeah. So her main question was about the schools, and we have no control over that. That's up to the school system itself.
Okay.
I know when I was in school, I took hunter education, in high school.
Yeah.
And most of us did. It was part of the curriculum that they let us do. And that's something that's gone away. And actually, I was reading up on some hunter education stuff the other day because it changes like everything. But it's actually, when I was reading the laws about it for us, for Tennessee, it's actually stated in there. It doesn't that they have to, but it says that schools are highly encouraged to add this into their curriculum.
So if you had a friend that maybe was one of the criminal justice teachers in one of the big schools here in the county, would that be something he could help bring into his curriculum maybe?
Yeah, I'd say so. Because look, it's called it is called hunter education.
Uh-huh.
But if you've ever had the class, it's not a class that teaches you about hunting. The name of it's actually kind of wrong. The main focus of that class is firearm safety. We don't talk about field dressing deer. We don't talk about tracking deer. We talk about firearm safety because that's the number one priority for us. Even with a bow, safety with a bow. I've seen there's a lot of gruesome accidents with bow hunting. Just how people are walking around. So.
That's scary, but no.
Well, it's just there's safe ways to do stuff.
So okay, so he's he's a criminal justice teacher. This sounds like a perfect fit for him.
Yes.
To bring in. So what would you recommend he do to bring it into the classroom? And this is high school.
He just has to call me, man.
Just
we'll
figure out something to do.
So
what would it look like? I mean, what would you do? Say, okay, we want to do this, Kaleb.
Well, so it has to it has to be at least 8 hours. An 8-hour span. So, but it doesn't have to be consecutive. I mean, it could be an hour a week for 2 months.
So you could.
It doesn't have to be much at all.
Because I'm helping you here, honey. So he has 3 other. You have 3 classes, and we're in the block schedule.
Right. So I've got 2 classes that are hour and a half long, and one that's an hour long.
So if he wanted to make that what they do on Wednesdays for starting when we get back to school, we're going to have Kaleb Stratton, the district sergeant. From Wildlife Resources, come in and hold this safety, hunter safety, firearm safety.
Right.
And you could do it in all 3 classes. So would you?
And then if something like it would be a lot of work on him, but there's a class you can go take with us that we set up to become an instructor, and then we would still come and help, but then the teachers can even teach it or whoever wants to teach it. Mr. Ragland, if y'all remember, Mr. Kevin Ragland, he was my ag teacher, and that's who taught ours.
Okay.
Which I'd had it a lot before anyway. When he taught me, I'd already had it 3 or 4 times before that. Because my uncle, I mean, he's taught hunter ed in Robertson County since 1984. So
I think that's a challenge.
He's been doing it for a long time.
He's in the middle of it. He just started his classes at UT Martin for his EPP Educational Preparedness Program, and so he just started that. So how many hours does it take for him to become an instructor?
It's just it's a really fun weekend actually. It's a Friday night and Saturday. It is. We do it. We host it. I mean, it's all, you don't have to pay a dime for it. And
when is it? When will
it's normally in the springtime. They haven't set one up yet. I don't know. I'd have to
sign him up.
Sign me up.
Sign him up.
We'll set you up. What day can you be available to come in?
So there you go, Lee Marie.
I'll have my person call your person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have your people.
Call my person.
It's have your people call my people.
No, we're not that big.
We just have persons.
We only have a person.
We only have one.
Yeah.
This is 1100 WSGI. This is one street over, having some fun. Jessica Drake was scheduled to come in, but you know what? She got a little bitty boy, and she doesn't need to be out on the road. She is following the guidelines that says, if you don't have to get out, don't. But
just us crazy people are out and about.
Broadcasters do. I mean, we're considered part.
I rest my case.
Considered,
crazy people.
We're considered part of the, of the network that lets people know what's going on.
Yeah, there you go.
So we really need to be on the air and let you know. We gave you a little sample of what the roads looked like, earlier when we were heading in.
And just to let you know, the depot is closed today, unfortunately. So they're normally open on Mondays, but they are closed today.
Let's find out about Blue Roof. Blue Roof is the important one.
Yeah, well, Blue Roof.
They will probably be open.
Yeah, Blue Roof, man, they're always open. But we'll have to go get some Blue Roof. And we're talking about what was it? Fortune Village, right? Is that
the name of it is Fortune Village.
But everybody calls it Blue Roof. If you're not from here, and when people start talking about Blue Roof, it is the Chinese place there on 41 that you can't miss. It's got the blue roof, so that's Blue Roof, and it's fabulous. We've known them forever.
Right there in front of you, Narco.
And great family. We just love them. And I had actually invited them to come on and be one of my businesses of the week. And I told them what time, and they're like, that's too early, and we have enough business. we stay covered up. And they were just like, we're not getting up that early. I love them so much. They're hysterical. All right, guys, let me go ahead and do my last break, and then we'll get back and we'll finish up with whatever we need to talk about. If you have any questions for Kaleb Stratton, District Sergeant, Wildlife Resources. I'm totally writing that down this time. So
I put it in my phone.
She's only said that for the last year now.
I know, because you got your promotion a year ago.
A little over a year, yeah, 15, 16 months ago.
So there you go. And anyway, all right. So we're going to talk about Cumberland Connect. I talked to them last week, and they are not quite there with having everybody connected, because we thought once Senator Roberts got it, then everybody would have it. But here's something funny. He hasn't gotten it turned on yet because he's been so busy. And we haven't had him on the air because he has literally been covered up. He is an adjunct professor, and he was teaching all the way through December. And they're doing some improvements on his property that are quite exciting for the county. And wait until you just it's going to be neat. If you've been seeing some construction out there, it's going to be super cool. And we'll let him unpack that for you. And, of course, the legislative session is starting up. Was it supposed to start today, or is it next week?
I think it's midweek.
Is it midweek? Okay, you're not on the microphone if you want to.
Probably not starting now.
Well, it's definitely but I'm not sure when the legislature's new session opens up, but it's coming up just any day. So they're getting ready for that. I know that Lee Marie had Sabi on earlier, and that's something I've been meaning to do. So I'm going to reach back out to him, but we need to get them in to talk to them. But bottom line is, Senator Roberts hasn't had time to turn on his Cumberland Connect, but he has access now. And they're getting super close to getting access to everyone. Cumberland Electric facilitates Cumberland Connect. If you are a Cumberland Electric customer, you will have access to high-speed internet via Cumberland Connect. Awesome stuff. And if you want to find out if it's available for you now, just go to cumberlandconnect.org, put in your address. I keep saying your zip code, not your zip code, your address, and it will tell you how soon they'll be knocking on your door and letting you know, hey, it's time. You can connect. You can also give them a call if you have some questions, 1-800-987-2362, 1-800-987-2362. You can talk to them and say, okay, what kind of a package do you have for me? $80 will get you a gig. I know that's more than most of us need, but why not when it's only $80? I was paying $65 for terrible internet, and now I got a gig for $80. And if you're somebody that's like, that's a lot of money, well, they have an affordable connectivity program because it's a utility now, and you may qualify for help paying for broadband services. If you qualify, you can get up to $30 per month to help pay for those services, and they've got packages starting at just $30 per month. They're going to hook you up and get you connected with Cumberland Connect. Check them out today, cumberlandconnect.org, cumberlandconnect.org, or call them 1-800-987-2362, 1-800-987-2362, and please always let them know that you turn sensitive. Moving on with the show this morning. What else do we need to talk about, Kaleb? Anything we have to talk about? We need to cover.
We'll clarify too for Lee Marie. She asked a couple different ways, I guess. So the other classes, though, the ones not taught in school, back during the COVID thing, we had everything in person had to be canceled. So the state went to all online classes for higher education, and unfortunately, it's still that way. We can teach a normal class again in person, but as long as they're online, nobody wants to come to a class anymore.
Well, our boys enjoyed it. We went down to that place down South Nashville.
Oh, yeah, Stones River?
Yeah, and took classes down there. Mm-hmm. And the boys,
many years ago.
Yeah.
They still teach them there. I mean, not as much, like I said, just because there's not we set up a class and we only have 3 or 4 people sign up for one, and it's just, we'll do it, but man, it's just, those classes used to have 50 to 100 people.
40 guys in our class, yeah.
And Lee Marie is asking, this thing you're talking about in the spring, do you have to be a teacher, a licensed teacher, to come in and take that to be a teacher's education?
For 100? No, anybody can do it.
There you go, Lee Marie.
Yeah, as long as you don't have a felony on your background, you'd be good to go.
Uh-oh.
Silly. But so that's awesome. So you can hook up and be a hunter's education teacher. Yeah. And they're going to pay for it.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a fun time. Free food.
Okay, well that's important.
Like it starts Friday evening and you're done. I think Sunday. everybody leaves Sunday morning. So.
Okay, so it's a week. So you spend the night and everything. Yeah. And y'all pay for the hotel. Mm-hmm.
Well, normally it depends. I don't know where they do it now, but we were doing it at the Fire and Codes Academy down around Murfreesboro.
Okay. That would be cool, just to see that place.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
There's not much to see there.
I love it. I love it.
But
Tell me, do you have anything else on that you need to cover? I've got a random
no, go
question
ahead.
for you. Okay, so I think we've got all Lee Marie's questions in. She's so good. No, thank you, Lee Marie, for helping me. But so I'm real interested in tapping into like the cabins in the state parks and those kinds of things because they're super affordable.
Yeah, and right now they are because there's a huge discount on them in the off season. So
Okay.
if you're going to go visit a state park in the cabins or anywhere right now is the time to do it because
How can I find out what are the best cabins and the ones that are the best kept secrets? If I want to learn about cabins that I could go and just check out for a weekend and just want to get away, we've got to get to where we take more time off.
I was going to say, just
take time off, and we
you
just
can
don't
Google it all you want. State Parks has a great website and they have pictures of them.
Okay, so Tennessee State Parks.
Yeah,
Just Tennessee State Parks. Google that and find them out.
All the cabins
I'm
are
sure
on
they'll
there.
come up individually.
You can. Yep, they do.
Do you have a favorite that you know about?
It just depends. I like going to over at Edgar Evans State Park on Center Hill Lake. That's a.
I love Center Hill Lake.
They've got some cabins right on the lake that are real nice.
Man,
Fall Creek Falls has
I
some.
love Fall Creek.
They have
Falls,
cabins that are kind of in the woods on the edge of the lake, but then they also have fisherman cabins that are on the lake. I mean, on the lake.
Well, we could take.
So
our
you sit on your
grandson
porch
there.
and just fish off the porch, and it's a beautiful place.
I want to do something like that with our grandson. He's 7 years old, and it would be a great just him. Just take him and let's just go do something like that. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah. Just leave everybody else behind.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Yeah, and just take him and let him fish. I think that would be so much fun. We might let his dad come.
No.
Like
Might
but the ones at Fall Creek Falls, I recently just stayed at some of those. Well, I didn't stay. I had my camper. My sister stayed at one, and we would go over there and hang out with them, and they were just beautiful.
and they're
beautiful
super
places.
affordable.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
And like I said, even right now, the hotels and everything right now, because it's their off season, nobody's there.
Yeah.
So they're very cheap.
I love
comparatively.
that. I love that idea.
And if you're a
think-
state employee, they're even cheaper.
But so now that was a question that came up for us because we're Robertson County teachers,
Right.
but are we state employees? Are we county employees or are we state employees? If anybody can answer that question, I would love to have that answer. Well, because there's a discount.
Hey, shouldn't you know that?
If
No.
you're a state employee,
Right.
you have a discount at college.
Mm-hmm.
So he's in this EPP program, which is, I don't know, $5,000-$6,000. And so if he is a state employee, he gets it for 25% cheaper, a 25% discount on that. If he's not, if he's a county employee, but I think we're still county employees because we have state insurance, and I don't know how they work that out. But, and Lee Marie wants to know which one is the one you can fish off the porch. I'm on it too, Lee Marie. I'm going to get it before
Fall
you.
Creek Falls.
Fall Creek Falls has they have fisherman
What lake
cabins.
is that on?
One of those backed up creeks.
Okay.
Probably
So-
called Fall Creek Falls
so
Lake, I guess. I don't
They
know.
don't, do they have fisherman cabins at Center Point?
Nothing. No, they don't. Center
Yeah.
Hill. No.
Center Hill.
But they're close. I mean, you're just there's a lot of them drop straight off, so they're kind of hard to get to.
Okay.
But
I think I would love to go to the fishermen's cabins on
Fall Creek Falls
Fall Creek
is
Falls.
it's beautiful.
Okay.
Maybe
That
we
sounds
can,
good.
Maybe we can just get our son to buy mine.
Do what?
To buy the one on Lake Elwood, like we were talking.
Yeah, see, we're going back up north now. Oh man, that's the thing up north. We've up in the UP. His uncle, who is responsible for us having for the family having 4 tickets at Lambeau Field, Uncle Joe had cabins on the lake up there, beautiful. And he had, as a little boy, Uncle Joe said, well, he'd let him have one of them, but they all ended up selling. And so he didn't get a cabin, but he would love to one of these days go up and get one of those cabins and, one of Uncle Joe's cabins. What do you have, like 3 or 4 of them?
3.
Oh wow.
3 of them. Oh, they were nice.
3 on the lake.
Yeah. Yeah.
That he had the
You moved away. If you'd have stayed up there,
Right,
you'd
yeah.
ended up with one of them cabins, but you moved away. So
they had
No.
the Airbnb before Airbnb was a big thing.
yeah.
People from Green Bay and Milwaukee come up and spend
Yeah.
the week on the lake.
Yeah. But you know what, guys? We got 2 minutes.
And you haven't done all your ads,
Yeah, I have.
did you?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
I guess I wasn't paying
You
attention.
weren't paying attention at all. So anything we're missing, Caleb?
I was going to mention this and I forgot till just now, so that's good. With what we got going on right now, this is a big time for a lot of our animals or wildlife to start getting closer to people, and because they can't get to the food sources that they normally do. And so I just had a call the other day with a coyote that got trapped in somebody's backyard, and it wouldn't get out, and it was it wasn't acting aggressive really. She said it was a little bit aggressive towards them, but I was able to get out there and get it out. And it wasn't aggressive towards me at all, but it's looking for this neighborhood in general. Had a lot of pets.
Right.
So a lot of people are feeding their dogs and cats outside, and that attracts wildlife, whether it's raccoons, possums, coyotes, bobcats. But so if you're feeding anything outside, don't do that. Feed them inside, feed them in the garage. Get all that food out, because these coyotes will come up. They're not looking to hurt you or hurt your pets. Oh. They're looking for that free food.
We have an outdoor feeder, and I hadn't thought about that. Never now we'll find a possum helping himself.
But it's only for people that know complain about. I mean, I don't mind coyotes at all. If they want to come up and eat, I feed my dog in the backyard, and if a coyote wants to come up and eat it, let it eat.
Yeah, but if you're
but it's not bothering. Yeah, if you're concerned
about that, then pull your food. Okay.
Yep. If you're concerned,
I'm glad to feed them. I'm like, whatever, they're hungry, so.
And all the calls I get about coyotes is, I have a coyote problem. I said, all right, what's your problem? Well, I have coyotes. I understand. What's your problem, though? People always say they have a problem.
Just because you see one doesn't mean it's a problem.
That's not a problem. They're not problems.
You live in the country.
You live in the country. You're going to have coyotes.
And this was in the middle. It was right there behind Walmart in White House. Okay. So, I mean, it was in a very populated neighborhood. And I shot it a couple times with some rubber buckshot I had. Which it scared me, because that thing did not budge. And I was like, man, I got this stuff for black bears, so I don't know why.
I think good. No.
So I was like, they gave me this stuff to shoot at bears with. And then the coyote didn't even budge, and I was like, So I was like, I got to call my boss about this stuff.
I think you're better off just shoot your buddy with it, so you can wait for bear.
But anyway, that's the public service announcement for that.
There we go. Kaleb Stratton, Wildlife Resource District Sergeant. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, getting out on this snowy day. Thank you, Mark, for joining us. And thank you for joining us. Tomorrow, what have we got coming up? I can't remember. We'll see, because, it's one of those things that, we hope they'll show up, because it's kind of snowy out there. I'll be here. We'll find somebody to come and talk to you. So I hope you'll join us. This is 1100 WSGI. Be safe out there, guys.